Good morning. I hope you are doing well today. I wanted to come on and do a quick tarot pull for you to tap into the energies and see what is swirling around you right now, offer any guidance from source in the universe and collective intelligence that might benefit you moving forward. Most of this should just be confirmation and validation of what you already know. Nothing should come to you that is new, as this is our subconscious interacting with our conscious. So if anything is new or presented that doesn't click or trigger any kind of resonance in you, it's not yours. Put it down and let it go. If it is meant for you, it will come back to you. All right, so the first card, I'm just going to do short, so I'm going to do one card from each of my decks. I have my own way of doing my readings, so I do them that way. So one or two cards for where you are currently at, and we have the Eternal Child and the Mirror. Sorry. All right. And these are from the Archetype deck from the Wild Unknown. Sorry, I was looking away. I'm going to pull up the book and read what the author's interpretation of these cards are for you, and then I will offer you my own. So for the Eternal Child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else and at any cost. It struggles being bound to an aging body with physical limitations in a world that demands attention to detail and logistics. The Eternal Child wants to nix all rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. It wants to return with plenty of friends to the land of the free, where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. We all want to sip from the well of eternal youth, and this makes the Eternal Child naturally popular, perhaps even famous. The Eternal Child glimmers. It reminds us of what is possible and what is magical about this precious life. When light, the Eternal Child is joyful, playful, accepts all, and magic. When in shadow, in the darkness, they may present as addicted, selfish, adrift, or burnt out. If you want to go deeper in this topic, the author suggests looking into Icarus, Peter Pan, or Rumi's Has Anyone Seen the Boy? Celebrity culture is based heavily on this archetype, as is the phrase live hard, die young, and the series of artists and musicians who died at 27. The archetype is so spirited that when its appetite for light isn't satiated, it seeks spirits and substance elsewhere. The Eternal Child struggles with addictions of all varieties. Okay, let's go to the Mirror. I have some of my own interpretations on that, but I'm going to give you the author's meaning first. Sorry, where is the Mirror? All right, the Mirror. We look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in the pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. When light, witnessing the deeper self, pure awareness. When in darkness and shadow, narcissism, comparison traps, harsh edges. If you want to go deeper on this topic, the author recommends Yayoi Kusama's, I'm going to butcher that pronunciation, Infinity Mirror Rooms. For further reflection, read the poem I Am Not I by Juan Jimenez and Yoko Ono's mirror piece in Grapefruit. Speak to yourself gently and kindly in the mirror. It will feel awkward at first, but it is a sure way to become friends with yourself. So this to me, the eternal child and the mirror is asking people to step into some mature reflection on their motivations and intent. So when I see these two cards come up, the eternal child is the parts of us that is not only pure and virtuous and the aspect of us that contains the divine spark, but it is also the part of us that doesn't know how to regulate our energy, that remains porous when we should maybe be more guarded, that is unfiltered when we should be more reserved, right? It is the aspect of us that is unregulated. And the mirror is our perception cast upon reality, our meaning making used to define the world around us, right? So when we see something in others that draws our attention, we immediately know, because of the way the subconscious works, that if it drew our attention, it is a reflection of something inside us already, or it wouldn't have drawn our attention. Think of how many times you drive down a road and pass streets and buildings because you've seen them every day, and because they're benign parts of your awareness, they don't draw your attention because they aren't actively triggering something that in you that is either seeking to grow or seeking to be pruned. So this eternal child is asking us to look at our behaviors, our forms of regulation, and where are we cultivating our discernment and our biases. And that is my read on that so far. So now I'm going to pull, just for a little refinement on this, I'm going to pull a couple more cards to kind of determine the energies around us. So if the eternal child and the mirror are the energies that we are dealing with within ourselves, right? So we are working with our childlike energies, our child wounds, our survival skills, our forms of regulation. We're dealing with the mirror, which is our projections, how we are interpreting the world around us through the lens of our past and our circumstances and our goals moving forward. So the next card I want to pull is an astrology card from the Astro Card Oracle by Tanya Brock. And what this card is going to reveal to us is kind of, I'm going to check crown and root. So the Astro cards, we are on a boat. We are on a planet in the middle of a galaxy that is being bombarded by external energies at all times all around us. So the crown energies to me are those larger than us, hard to see, but still impact us cosmic energies. Sorry, I had a dog doing something. She's about to kick something over. She's rolling on the floor, so I had to stop her. So the Astro card, I want to know, what is the energetic current that we are floating in? conjunction and fusion energies. So energies coming together. So we are in the process of learning how to heal, emerge, and combine those. So this is integration, coherence energies. This is not like a conflict, but it is learning how to operate within those, to choose something that is more than them. These energies are coming together, is what that is saying. How to work with them, put them together in order to lead us to success. So now I want to know the root energies, which, we're on a planet. We're floating among cosmic energies, but we also live on Gaia, and she has her own energies as well. Planet is conscious, creates its own presence around us, and influences our energetic body. So, what is the earth this current floats upon? And it pulled out 2 for us. So first, we have adventure, south. Protection, and the cave. So this is very much kind of confirming for me that this is about regulation, right? Because our childlike need for adventure, but it needs some guidance, some regulation, right? Some temperament. And that is where the protection and the cave energy is coming in. So it's learning how to use what we learn about the mirror, our shadow energies, our projections, and our biases in order to inform and protect these childlike energies, these creative energies that do need to be harnessed, because if they aren't taught how to be tempered and how to be regulated, they just become a wildfire instead of a controlled fire that would like protect farmland, right? If you are a sculptor using a potter's wheel, you know that you have to control the pressure and the spin, right? You can't just go into it untempered. So to me, that is what I'm seeing in this conjunction and fusion energy. So because we have a conjunction and fusion, that leads me to want to ask what they are trying to create from these 2 energies. So I am going to use the Citadel deck. It's this one. In order to see what is trying to be formed from these energies. So what are we creating in that conjunction? This is like the emergent property. And right away, we have the diviner. So this is learning how to use our discernment to tap into our gifts, talents, and abilities from our experience, how to use our force of creation and our understanding of how our core beliefs and our core wounds drive us in order to set goals and prepare for a future with the actions that we take today. And that is what divining is. It is being able to tap into your intuition, to communicate with the energies around you, be aware of them, be able to ride them, realizing you can't control them, but you can control yourself. And then being able to navigate yourself down that river, through that terrain, to a destination that you desire. And so the child in the mirror are our tools for learning discernment so that we can divine and see our way to our greatest good and highest potential. What should this energy feel like? Embody. That was way too many. What should this energy feel like? Embody. If we have reached or are getting close to our goal of conjunction, what will this emergent property, this diviner energy, feel like within us? Going to be moth energy. Okay. Okay, putting the deck away. Give me just a minute. This one has a book I'm going to read. I have a biology background and a little bit of understanding that might be different from the authors. So just like the archetypes, I am going to pull up what their interpretation is, and then I'm going to give you mine, because I am also, I have somatic clairs and am empathic, so I experience these energies differently than the author might describe them. Okay, the moth energy. This diviner energy, when this conjunction has fused the eternal child in the mirror, when these have come together and you are on the track of the diviner, it might feel like impulsive, hasty, or wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side, right? Like there's a path that you're going towards, this higher self, this greater good. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. Easy solution, shiny and new. Also shiny and new, mirror. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointments, and burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. And that is the emotional regulation here. This is learning how to have the maturity to see where we are projecting and where we are being impulsive and out of control. It is learning how to turn that energy into a direction and aim it at the light, right? Because moths follow the light. So it is learning how to aim that. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, this energy will feel enthusiastic and whimsical. It will feel like play, and it will feel like you are going towards something that, one, makes you feel safe, right? A huge part of what we're trying to learn right now in the energies is how to feel safe and cultivate and nurture our own safety. Because it was never about our capacity for love, about whether we were loved or could be loved. It was about how we were able to find and be and create safety. And that's what this mirror energy, this working with our shadows and everything, and trauma culture and all of that has been about. It's been learning and coming back to safety. The problem was never love. Love is firmly rooted over here. We have to learn how to regulate it, right? Our expression of it, and follow a goal. So when out of balance, the moth energy idealizes others and is jittery, right? So following a false light. To bring into balance, finish your projects, right? So learning how to temper and regulate, learning how to guard and protect your energies better in order to head towards and drive these energies towards a goal instead of just being driven by any light that shines in front of you. So I am going to pull one more card. I think I've interpreted and talked about this moth energy enough. That covers what it would have meant to me as well. All right, I am going to pull a card now from the Inner Wisdom Compass for what spirit source, your subconscious, your higher self, what do the energies operating around and through out you want you to know from all of this? What is the takeaway? Happiness. True happiness comes from within. Never allow anyone or anything to determine what makes you happy. So this is about learning how to work with the way these energies, our child and our mirror energies, have been influenced by fear narratives, generational trauma, ancestral trauma. And when we're talking about generational trauma and ancestral trauma, we're talking about social and cultural paradigms that have been conditioned and groomed from significant periods of unrest, like the Cold War, the Industrial Revolution, the Great Depression. Those all created these survival instincts, and the war culture does that too. But those specifically, like the Great Depression, has fueled a lot of like the hoarding that we see culturally with our resources and things. So this is learning how to overcome how those types of traumas and programming and conditioning have shaped us, learning how to regulate what we find there, right? Because our inner child needs that regulation and guidance, but learning how to take control of that for ourselves, to decide for ourselves what has meaning for us, what is going to drive us and move us, right? And this is the south node is the past karma. So freeing ourselves from the programming and conditioning that shaped our biases and our projections in order to reclaim our safety and ability to protect ourselves and define our own direction towards happiness that is based on a light that is true.